Let us now begin the discussion of the Nyai Tatpurushaha compound. This is what is called as a negation compound. It is a compound which conveys the meaning of negation of something. Hence it simply means not something. Sutram which is used to form a Nyai Tatpurushaha is 226, which simply reads Nyai. The sutram is not entirely new to us. We refer to this sutram when we studied the sutram 160. Ktena Nyai Vishishtena Nyai. At that time we saw the example Kritancha Tadakritam. Kritam cha tat akritam, where the compound akritam is formed using the sutram 226 Nyai. So we are not entirely unfamiliar with this sutram 226, but now let us look at it in detail. Vritti of this sutram says Nyai supasaha vasamasyate Sacha tatpurushaha. The usual anuvrittis are coming down. Anuvritti of sup is coming down from 212 Suvamantrite Parangavatsvare. But here, since Nyai is a avyayam, the Subantam Nyai is simply Nyai because of 2482 Avyayadap Supaha. When we add the default affix su, the sup affix su to the avyayam Nyai, that sup affix su takes a look elision by 2482 Avyayadap Supaha. So Nyai itself is a Subantam Padam. And we know the anuvritti of Sahasupa coming down from 214 Sahasupa. That's why the vritti says Supa Saha Vasamasyate. And of course we know the adhikara of Vibhasha, which starts from 2111. That's why we say Vasamasyate. And finally adhikara of Tatpurushaha, which of course runs down from 2122 down to 2222. So these negation compounds formed using this avyayam Nyai are a subset of Tatpurushaha compounds. So the meaning of the sutram is the negation particle Nyai, meaning not, optionally compounds with a subantam ending in a sup affix padam, and the resulting compound is a Tatpurushaha. Very simple sutra, very important sutram because these negation compounds are used very frequently in the language. Okay, let's look at these notes here. The first note says negation particle Nyai belongs to the Chadiganaha, referenced in 1457 Chadayo Sattve. Hence it gets resignation Nipataha by 1456 Pragrishwaran Nipataha, and the designation avyayam by 1137 Swaradinipatam avyayam. So Nyai is a nipataha and hence it is also a avyayam. And hence, as we already remarked, the default affix su following Nyai takes a look elision by 2482 Avyadap Supaha. Next note says Iha na lopo nanyaha ityatra visheshanartho nyakaraha. Purpose of the it letter nya is to distinguish Nyai from na. Na is also a separate avyayam. It also means not, but the important difference between these two is that the elision prescribed by 6373 na lopo nanyaha of the letter na applies only to Nyai and not to na, because 6373 says na lopo nanyaha. That is why Panini has attached this it letter nya to this particle Nyai, so that 6373 is allowed to apply only to Nyai and not to the avyayam na. Next note says that tat sadrishyam abhavascha tadanyatvan tadalpata aprashastyam virodhascha nanyarthaha shat prakirtitaha. The negation particle Nyai may convey any of the following senses. First one is tat sadrishyam, similarity to that which is being negated. For example, abrahmanaha, one who is different from yet similar to a Brahmin. Hence the compound refers to a man and not to an animal or an inanimate object. So when we say abrahmanam anaya, bring a non-Brahmin, you cannot bring a stone or something like that. It means bring a person, a man who's not a Brahmin. So even though there is a negation here, there is also a sense of similarity to that which is being negated. Second sense is abhavaha, absence of that which is being negated. For example, avignam, an absence of obstacles. So the particle nai here means a complete absence, zero obstacles. That is what is conveyed by the compound avignam. Third sense is tadanyatvam, different from that which is being negated. For example, apataha, something, anything different from a cloth. So it doesn't mean similar to a cloth, doesn't mean zero cloth. It means anything different from a cloth. It could be a pot, it could be a stone, it could be anything. So there is no sense of similarity, there is also no sense of complete absence. Okay, the next sense is tadalpata, smallness, minuteness of that which is being negated. For example, anudara Kanya, a maiden with a slim waist. It's not that she has no waist, it's very slim waist. Literal meaning of Anudara would mean no stomach, no waist. But reality what it means is a slim waist, a small waist. This is how the particle nai conveys smallness of something. Next meaning is aprashastyam, non-praiseworthiness. For example, akalaha, an inopportune time, not a proper time, not a good time. For example, akale mrityuhu, death at an inopportune time. It is not an auspicious or proper time to pass away. So here akalaha doesn't mean not time, it means inopportune time. The last sense is virodha, opposite of that which is being negated. For example, adharmaha equals dharma viruddha, unrighteousness, opposite of righteousness. Similarly, asuraha, opposite of a god, meaning a demon. So these are the various senses which are conveyed by this particle nyai. So when we see a nai tatpurushaha, depending on the context, the compound could convey any one of these senses. So even though the basic meaning of nai tatpurushaha is not something, there are a variety of shades of not which we have to be aware of in interpreting these compounds. Okay, let's take an example here. Na pataha equals a pataha, not a cloth, which means something different from a cloth. It's what is called as tadanyatvam, different from that which is being negated. In this case, the cloth. The alaukika vigraha is nyai plus pata su. As we already mentioned, 2482 avyadap supaha has already performed the look elision of the sup affix following nyai. The compounding is authorized by the sutram 226 nyai, because we do have the particle nyai compounding with a subantam padam, which is pata su. Now as per 1243, prathama nirdishtam samasa upasajanam, the term nyai gets resignation upasajanam, because in the sutram 226, which prescribes the compounding, the term nyai ends in the nominative case, and hence as per 2230, the term nyai is placed in the prior position in the compound. 2230 of course is upasajanam purvam. Now the ending letter nya of the particle nyai gets its sanya by halantyam and then tasya lopaha, so we get na pata su. Now na pata su gets resignation pratipadikam by 1246 krit tadita samasascha, because we have formed a samasaha, which allows us to apply 2471 supo dhatu pratipadikayoho, perform the look elision on the sup affix su, which is inside the compound. So we get na pata. At this stage we have to perform the elision, the lopaha of the letter na, which is at the beginning of the particle nyai. For that we need the sutram 6373, na lopo nyanyaha. That will be our next sutram, so we can complete this compound apataha.